driver from Scion Racing in that FRS, which is now available for sale. Great initiation from both drivers. Some good close drifting on the bank. This is what the judges want to see. Kicking out some angle there as he exits the bank onto the power alley. Transitioning back, a little bit of a gap opened up briefly, but Tuerck's really closed it up here. Come around that final clipping point along the wall, across the finish line.
So that's a
pretty good chase
run on both of them. Yeah, so you had Ken, who had an excellent lead run. He's up pretty much bouncing off the bank wall with his back bumper. But Ryan not giving him an inch, like staying as close as he can. And you can see Ryan right here is totally committed on the entry. He's right there on his back bumper, and doing 80 miles an hour around that bank, that's a big feat. Yeah, that's pretty impressive. If you think 80 going straight is fun or interesting on the highway, imagine going sideways looking out your side window. It's not as easy as it seems, and definitely a lot more difficult to control cars like this. So from the spotter's perspective, at this point, you're telling Ken, okay, you're going to follow now. You need to stay on him. You need to be within a car length less. You need to be on his back bumper, his back tire, the whole way around the track. Ryan needs to put together an excellent lead run. He needs to connect it like it's a qualifying lap right now, because both of them had such a good lead and follow in the first round. They're going to pick the second round apart now. That's why we are where we're at in the top 4 with some of the best drivers in the series. Ryan Tuerck has finished second overall previously. He's won events before. Ken Gushi has won in Houston in 2005. He won in Sonoma in 2010, I believe. But yeah, and he was out at the first Formula Drift event in Atlanta with 2004. Yeah, Gushi's one of the only drivers who has driven in every single Formula D event since the start of it. So even yourself, you came in 2005, 2004, end of 2004. Yeah, end of 2004. I did a couple of myself driving a Nissan 240, and then I ran an S2000 for a few years after that. A lot of fun, but my main deal is working on the cars and running the team, and it was just too much to try to drive and do all that stuff. So, hey, we're working with Tanner at the time, and such a good driver. Let's each do our part in the team and excel at it. Some sing-song going on down here. I think there's some soccer fans or something that invaded the drifting event. We got a battle on track underway. Ryan Tuerck's going to be leading. Ken Gushi's going to be giving chase. You heard from Steph Papadakis saying that he would be telling his driver to get close to Tuerck on the chase, and he's leaving a little bit of gap on the table, I feel like. Yep. Coming through the power alley. Way too much gap, especially with Ryan doing such a good lead run right there. He's able to close it up over the course, but again, not quite the proximity that they want to see on the bank. But he's able to close it and make a good impression, that lasting impression. As they crossed the finish line, they definitely were only about a car or two away. So, looking at this replay again, you'll see Tuerck initiate. Gushi waited a little bit, initiated later, but stayed high on the bank. You can see Tuerck's a little bit lower on the bank on his line to start. Crawls back up there a little bit, but again, that gap is something that Steph Papadakis up here told us that he would have emphasized to his driver if that was his driver as a spotter. So it's good to see. I can see a trade-off there. I think Gush had a better lead run. Okay. And then I think Ryan had a better follow run. And it's going to be tough for the judges. I mean, I think it's either Ryan or one more time. Interesting. As much as I'm rooting for Ken. Definitely. But, yeah, Ryan Tuerck gets the win. Ryan Tuerck earns his way into the final against Von Gittin Jr. It will be